Hello and welcome to episode 43 of the Footy with Fletch podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by Molly Brooksby. Molly was signed by Port Adelaide in 2023 via the expansion under-18 talent pathway pre-signing period. Hello, Molly. Thanks for joining me today on the podcast. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Now, you started playing soccer when you were 5 years old. Why did you choose to play soccer early on?
It was just I guess it was the only sport that my sister plays growing up, so I just followed in her footsteps and being no footy at the time, soccer was just sort of a sport that I love to do and yeah.
And you played soccer with the boys at the Tea Tree Gully Soccer Club up until the under-12s, where you then moved to a girls' soccer team. What do you think were some of the differences between playing with the boys compared to playing with the girls?
Yeah, well, I obviously played with the boys growing up my whole entire life, and it was a great little team we had. Most of the players that I played with there had played since I was young and sort of had a good community there, and then moved to the girls team. I didn't have heaps to do with the girls team because I was mainly focusing on footy in that when I was playing the girls team. But yeah, I guess different community in that and just getting used to it. But both of it was really good.
And with your soccer, you played Division 1 in the women's team at the Modbury Vista Soccer Club, and you played in the State League in 2021. What was it like to play soccer at such a high level?
Yeah, it was great. I think it really helped the pathway into when I joined the Nord Footy Club because I guess I was playing with older women and that, and I was really young, but it was just great for my development. And yeah, it was really fun.
Why did you decide to stop playing soccer and then, I guess, pursue footy?
Yeah, well, I guess playing both soccer in a women's team and footy in a women's team, it was hard to try and focus on both sports as I was juggling both. So I guess I wasn't able to grow and develop in one as much because I was trying to juggle both of them. So I guess when both coaches were asking me which one I wanted to choose, and I really just wanted to focus on one, but I didn't know which one. And then eventually, when I got the opportunity to possibly play for Norwood, I got injured. And I think that was sort of my tipping point when I realized that footy was really what I wanted. As much as I loved soccer and I'd played it all growing up my entire life, footy was something that I wanted to pursue.
And you mentioned you got injured before you went to Norwood. What was that injury that you suffered?
I just slightly, not slightly, had a buckle fracture in my radius. So yeah, that was just playing local footy and just got tackled and just landed on it.
Injuries in footy, they're never any good. And you started playing footy as a 12-year-old. What was it like playing footy early on, also playing soccer?
Yeah, it was great. Most of the time I focused just on footy. I think I had 3 years where I focused just on footy and I would just play soccer when I can. So I'd play soccer, I played footy, and then I'd go straight to the soccer game and play keeper or something like that, just to still be involved in both of them. But yeah, it's obviously hard juggling both, but being young, you're active, you just want to get involved in everything you can and you make great friendships through sport. So that was something that really just kept me so eager and wanting to keep playing.
Now, we see there are a number of dual sport athletes in the AFLW. Georgie Cleaver's an example, Monconti as well. Do you ever see yourself in the future possibly returning to play soccer?
No, I haven't really looked back. I've obviously enjoyed everything about soccer, and I think it's the skills and what I've learned playing soccer has been really transferable to footy, and it's helped me to grow a lot in footy. But I don't think I'd go back to soccer as much as I loved it.
And which AFL club did you support growing up?
I supported the Adelaide Crows.
So you're now at the crosstown rival Port Adelaide. What has it been like to sort of, I guess, join the power?
Oh yeah, it's been great. I've loved everything about it. Just really welcoming, and it's just really amazing to be involved in such an elite environment.
And you mentioned playing in the SANFL-W. You've been playing SANFL-W football with the Norwood Redlegs. How did you find your time at the club?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I've got so many friends from a club, and it's just everything about the club I love, the people, the coaches, just the community that's been made, and just everything about it just makes me so happy, and I've just been really appreciative to the club and everything they've given me.
And what do you think has been the biggest highlight playing with the Redlegs?
Uh, to be honest, there's not one thing I can point out, but I think it's just in general, just the joy that it brings me. Just pre-game rituals and fun, dancing and singing the song after, and just moments when just you're just really happy for each other and just getting around each other. Yeah, it means a lot.
And you were Norwood's best first-year player after a breakout season in the AFLW in 2022. That's a bit of a highlight for you. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, no, that means a lot. I was, yeah, really, really grateful for that award, and obviously it means a lot. And getting it from a club and being recognised from coaches and players that mean so much to you, just it really means a lot. Yeah.
And in 2023, you played 6 AFLW games and missed a bit of the season due to injury. What did you make of your season overall?
Yeah, so missed quite a few games because of injury early on, which was a bit disappointing. But I guess after overcoming the injury, I just really realized how much I missed it. I just wanted to have fun. So for me, even though it was my draft year, I sort of just put that aside and realized that if I'm having fun, then I'm gonna play well. And that's all I did. Just went out there and played with some of my best mates. Just had a ball, and yeah, I loved it. And I guess that was why I was able to have a few really good games. And yeah.
And how tough was it to, I guess, deal with injury in your draft year as well?
Yeah, very frustrating, like any injury. Yeah, but I guess once it happens, you can't really look back. You kind of just have to keep looking forward and realizing that what's done is done, and just have to figure out what each day I can do to sort of progress, make myself better each week, and just really look to different things that can help me grow. I guess not playing, but watching the game and understanding it a bit more.
And there was a standout game for you last year in the SANFL-W. It was round 12. You had 26 disposals, 5 tackles, 4 inside 50s and 5 rebound 50s. What do you remember from that dominant performance?
Yeah, so when I first went back to the Sandford, I was playing in the midfield, but that something about it was adding up, and then I got put down running half back, and that's when I started to play really well, and I felt really comfortable in my skin. So I guess it just felt really natural, and just having people around you that sort of supported you, all the girls and that, and we all understand we just really knew how each other wanted to play, and I guess that really helps. Yeah.
And you've also played a couple of SANFL-W games this year in 2024. How has that gone for you?
Yeah, it was good. Again, injury, the same injury, which sort of stopped me from playing all 5 of the games we were allowed to play, unfortunately. But it's just good to be back and playing with some of my best mates. That was sort of something I focused on, just going back and having fun and not worrying so much about the pressure and sort of the expectations that I might have on me, and just going back to a club that I love and just being able to play a few games. Just really appreciate that. Yeah.
And what injuries did you suffer this year?
So the one that I suffered last year, it was had a slight tear to my hamstring tendon, and this year I just had a bit of fluid around the tendon, so no tear or anything like that, but just a bit of pain in that, which was sort of stopping me from being able to play and that.
It must be frustrating dealing with injury. How are you sort of going to manage this moving forward?
Yeah, and we've talked with the physios at Port and that, and they've sort of realised that I guess it was the injury that's been sort of occurring and identified early on. So something that I just have to really keep on top of. So going forward in the next sort of few months before our preseason starts, I'm really just looking to strengthen it and just make sure that my hamstring is just bulletproof, so I'll have no problems going into the season, which is something I definitely don't want to happen.
And how do you sort of keep fit during the off season? Because the pre-season doesn't start until the 3rd of June.
Yeah, well, we've been given running programs and gym programs from Port, so most of the time, yeah, I'll do it throughout the week and do it with some of the girls and that. But we also have a few skill sessions, which is really good. So get down there, it's a bit of fun in that, and just to keep our skills up and I guess be around each other, which helps a lot.
And you were also a member of the AFLW Academy. What was that experience like for you, Molly?
Oh, the academy was insane. It was one of we had 3 different camps throughout the year last year, and they were all like part of my highlights for the year. Like just so much fun, so much learning and development, and yeah, just so enjoyable.
And who do you think were some of the players from the AFLW Academy that you've got a close bond with?
So if you're the WA girls, so Jamie Henry and Caitlin Sahoy, I think that's how you say her name. But yeah, no, I've got along with them really well. They were lovely girls.
And you also, as part of the AFLW Academy, you wore the Australian jumper for the AFLW Academy side against the under-23 All-Stars match at Marvel Stadium. How did you find that match?
Yeah, so much fun. I think we all sort of felt the same, but it was probably one of the most enjoyable games I've played. Um, yeah, it was just, I guess, spending 3 different camps with the girls, you build a special bond, and it was really enjoyable. And then to be able to top it off with the game was just, it was just so much fun. And I think there was no pressure, there was no expectation. Everyone just went out there, had fun, and just played for each other, and it just made it so enjoyable.
And in 2022, you played in the under-17s AFLW Futures game at GMHBA Stadium. You had 22 touches, 2 marks, 5 tackles, and 6 clearances. What was that experience like?
Yeah, that was a really fun game as well. I think it was one of my first sort of interstate trips playing at a big stadium. So I think that was really exciting for me and a bit of an eye opener as to what the future could look like. So yeah, and to play well as well, I was just grateful for the opportunity, but just really happy with my performance. And I think it just really encouraged me to keep working hard on that to sort of see what the future could look like in the future. Yeah.
And you also were involved with South Australia in the under-17s national championships in 2021. You played one game having 17 disposals, 5 clearances and 5 tackles. How was that performance for you?
Yeah, good. All the games were very enjoyable, but yeah, it's obviously at the championships games to play well, it does it is great to play well in those games because there's lots of scouts not looking out. So I think yeah, I was just really happy to play well and yeah.
How do you, I guess, sort of deal with the pressure around knowing that at those games there are talent scouts and recruiters from clubs there watching you?
Yeah, I think it can be a bit daunting. I think like my first few games playing at state level was a bit, I guess, scary. But I think at the end of the day, once you step out onto the field and you start playing and you realize that you don't have to do anything special. You've already done all the hard work and through preseason and years of hard work. And I guess you've been selected at that level for a reason. So just backing yourself and just realizing that you are capable, playing well, of doing your job. And I think, yeah, just backing my abilities and realizing that I was good enough to be at that level and just had to bring my strengths to the game. And then hopefully everything else would fall into place and I'd play well.
And you were also a part of South Australia's unbeaten run in the national championships last year. How did you find, I guess, that performance and that winning run?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, to win is always good fun, but yeah, we had a cracking team, so yeah, we all just worked really hard together, and I think the future of SA footy is looking really strong with a few of the girls that are coming through. But yeah, to go unbeaten in a championship just means a lot, and to know that you're training with like some of the best girls and you've got the strongest team just is great for your personal development, and yeah, it was great.
And you were also a part of the Next Generation Academy at Port Adelaide. You were one of 4 players who were invited to train alongside Port's AFLW side last year. You trained with fellow signings Lauren Young and Shanae Goody. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, that was insane. I was very shocked when I was asked to do that. I don't think that many like young girls would think that they'd be training or sort of involved in an AFL club before they get picked up. So just extremely grateful for the opportunity. But I think what I think was great was that it sort of helped me in the transition after I did get drafted, because I already knew most girls, if not all the girls. And I guess it sort of calmed the nerves a bit, and it just made me more excited, as I already knew sort of how the club operated and that, and I already loved it. So yeah, I was just really grateful for that opportunity, and yeah, lucky I got it.
And what was involved, I guess, with that next generation academy?
Yeah, so that was sort of, I think it happened when I was 15, like it was younger. So basically, each Sandford club would sort of select a few of their best players, and they'd either be chosen into the Port Next Generation Academy or the Crows. And I guess it was just another opportunity just to grow more and just as a young girl sort of develop. And I also play with other girls that were really talented in that, and it helped me a lot and helped me grow a lot. And then eventually at the end of it, we got to play against the Crows Academy, which was great fun. But yeah.
And obviously, you were pre-signed by Port Adelaide last year in the pre-signing period. What did that process involve, Molly?
Well, it wasn't much to do with me, to be honest. I had my manager deal with most of it. I just thought about playing footy throughout the year and just do my best, and hopefully stuff would fall into place. But eventually I was asked to be pre-signed, and yeah, I was just really grateful, and yeah, it was insane.
And when were you sort of, I guess, notified that Port Adelaide were interested in signing you in the pre-signing period?
Yeah, well, I was obviously training with them. I knew that they had some interest, but I guess it didn't guarantee anything. You never guaranteed anything. So I guess it was just to train hard, show I was interested, show I was willing to learn, and then just hope that they would want to pick me up.
And for my listeners that might not know, how were you told that Port Adelaide had signed you via the pre-signing period?
Well, I was told by my manager, so they called me and let me know, which is pretty cool. And then I thought that was kind of it, but then at Norwood training, uh, I had we were warming up, and I had one of the girls knock me, and I was like, "Oh, what was that for?" And she sort of said, "Look up," and I looked up, and I just saw the Port Adelaide list manager, one of the players, my family all walk out with all cameras and that, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I think that's when it kind of sunk in, and it was, emotions were like going around, and it was just, yeah, it was an insane moment. And to share it with like some of my bestest friends and all the girls that have helped me grow, and my like coaches and that through the footy club, was just, it meant so much to me. It was really special.
You mentioned it was a really special moment. What did it also mean to your family and friends that you were going to play AFLW footy?
Yeah, they were stoked for me. Yeah, I was just so lucky to share a moment like that with them. And I guess, yeah, stuff like that. Like, you want your family and your friends and some of the closest people that mean the most to you around you, because obviously they help you a lot with your journey, whether it be actually helping with football stuff or just mentally and just getting around you and that sort of stuff. And it just means so much to be able to share a moment like that with them.
And you attended AFLW draft night last year, even though you were a pre-signing. That must have taken, I guess, a bit of the nerves and a bit of the stress out of it. What was it like to be there on draft night, though?
Yeah, well, I was really lucky that the AFL flew me and my parents out to draft night. Yeah, so I already knew that I was pre-signed, so I wasn't nervous. I was just excited to see what the dynamics of the night looked like and how it folded out. And knowing quite a few girls from the AFLW Academy, I was just excited for them to see what would happen. So it was an insane night. So lucky that I got to go. Yeah.
And you've been a part of some skills sessions at Port Adelaide in the off season. What has that sort of involved and what has it been like?
Yeah, so just sort of staying on top of our skills, getting to know each other, and a few fun games, a bit of banter and that. So it just sort of helps grow the connection between me and the different players and that, which has been great, just getting to know the different girls and just, I guess, developing together rather than sort of by yourself individually in the off season. It sort of helps to be around people, increase your motivation and that, and brings out the best in you. Yeah.
And it's been announced that you will be wearing the number 6 Guernsey for Port Adelaide. How excited are you to wear the number 6 jumper for the Power?
Yeah, very excited. I like the look of the number, so I'm pretty happy about it. Hopefully it's a good number for me, but yeah, just excited to, I guess, put on a Port Power Guernsey and hopefully step out onto the big stage sometime this year.
And who are some Port Adelaide AFLW players that you were excited to be playing alongside this season?
To be honest, I can't really pinpoint one. I think sort of everyone. I've gotten to know quite a few of the girls now, and yeah, they've all welcomed me heaps, and I'm just so excited to work with each of them, like individually as a group, and I guess a lot of the experienced players as well, who will be able to teach me a lot about the game and the process of the game, and I guess how to build and develop my myself.
Has there been any particular player that's taken you under their wing in your time early on at the club?
No particular player. I think just everyone. Yeah, they've all been great.
And unfortunately, one of your fellow pre-signing players in Lauren Young suffered an ACL injury a couple of weeks ago. How heartbreaking is this news for her and for the club?
Yeah, it's so devastating. I think we all felt terrible when we were reaching out to Loz, because obviously she's an amazing player who's already gone through an ACL, already had a ACL done previously, and I think obviously it's a big mental strain to anyone when you do your ACL, but to do another one, especially in such a big year, I guess it hurts a lot for her, and we've all been there for her, but I guess we'll just have to get around her throughout the season and just, yeah, we know that she'll come out even better and stronger because she's got such a strong mindset in that, and she's so positive. But yeah, it's just terrible news.
And what do you think has been the most challenging part about being an AFLW player to date?
Well, I guess we're still in off season, so there hasn't been many challenges. But yeah, I guess it's just at the moment I've just been keeping up with all my gym work and running work and that. So there's been nothing insanely challenging at the moment. I guess it's just to keep building.
And what is the alignment between the Port AFL and AFLW program like? How strong is it?
Yeah, well, obviously I haven't been involved for too long, so I'm probably not the best person to answer the question. But we've already had quite a few like sort of events with the men's team. We've had a dinner and lunch the other day, so it's been great to get to know a few of them.
And to some more general footy questions, do you have any pre-game superstitions that you undertake before a game?
I don't actually. I like to stay pretty calm before a game. I'll think about the game the day before or whatnot, but sort of on game day, I just like to go about my own thing, do my own daily thing, and just not worry about it too much, because I feel like if I worry about it too much, then I get a bit nervous. So I just like to, I guess, chill out, have a bit of fun, and I guess, yeah, then once I get to the game, then I'll start thinking about it. But yeah, I just like to have fun with it, really.
And you've got the ability to kick on both sides of your feet. How important do you think it is to be able to kick on both sides of your body?
Yeah, very important. I think that was one of the skills that sort of transferred from soccer. But yeah, it's helped me a lot, that's for sure. I guess not all girls can do it, but it's definitely growing, which is great. But I think it just provides you with so many more options, and I guess, yeah, it just helps you get out of sticky situations. And yeah, it's a great skill to have. Yeah.
And you've got the ability to play as a midfielder or, as you mentioned, play as a running half-back. Which position do you prefer?
Well, I've also played a bit on the wing, but I think I sort of see myself as a bit more of an outside player, as I'm able to kick on both feet, and I think my kick is my strong suit in the game. So I guess utilizing that kick, so being running off the back or an outside player, to use my weapon, use my kick as my strength to, I guess, help the team.
And how would you personally describe yourself as a footballer?
To describe myself as a footballer, I think I feel like I'm a smart footballer. I'm, I guess, good at reading the game and that. A selfless footballer and just fun. I'm not sure if that really makes sense, but I just like to enjoy it. Yeah.
And you've got a bit of a hidden talent. I've heard that you can juggle. How did that sort of come about?
Oh, well, I guess it's a hidden talent because it's probably one of my only little talents. I'm not the greatest, but one time at school I had to do a PE project and I choose juggling as a skill to develop. So I'm definitely no superstar, but I guess I can do it.
Well, it's a step ahead of me. I definitely can't juggle and probably won't ever be able to. What are sort of some of your commitments outside of AFLW? Are you studying at university or how are you sort of spending your time this year?
Yeah, well, I've just recently just stopped my retail job that I had just because I wanted to focus on footy and uni. So I'm currently studying human movement and secondary teaching at uni, which I've been really enjoying in that. So yeah, it's been great. So that's sort of the only commitment I have outside of footy, just focusing on just uni and footy this year. Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting for you. What are some of your hobbies outside of footy?
Hobbies outside of footy, I just like to keep active, keep moving, and just catching up with friends. So going to the gym, going on walks, like going to the beach, sort of thing. Just anything which involves sort of being outdoors and just socializing with people.
And has there been a particular teammate at Port Adelaide that you've sort of found to be a bit annoying or they're a bit of a comedian?
No.
Would there be anyone particular?
Oh, yeah, Ange Foley, she's a funny one. We do have during our skill sessions we've separated into three different groups and we always have there's different points. So our team unfortunately is on the bottom. So we have to fix that one. But we have a team game. We have a team game which you get points from and because we're not very good, we tend to lose it. And yeah, she always cracks the shits, which is very funny. But yeah, she's very competitive and we all love it. It gives us a good laugh.
And just finally, do you think that you're a competitive person yourself?
Yeah, of course, I'm a competitive person. Everyone loves to win.
Well, thank you so much, Molly, for joining me on the podcast today and all the best of luck with the upcoming AFLW season.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.